Y'all might not know that this is the band you've been waiting for me to show you my entire YouTube career, but this is the band you've been waiting for me to show you my entire YouTube career. And it's about time that I took the veil off their glorious works of art and showed them to you. Hey everybody, welcome to Josh Dell'Aria's Musical Escapades. My name's Josh Dell'Aria, and I'm so excited that today is the first time that I get to reveal to you guys, on YouTube anyways, the Deer Hunter. Now, if you've been to my Facebook page, chances are you've seen a song from the Deer Hunter show up on there. I've gone through post after post after post after post after post after so many posts with songs of the Deer Hunter. And I also know that there are some people who are fans of the page who are huge fans of the Deer Hunter as well. So if you want to know, the reason why I was waiting on them for a while is because I'm looking for them to put out a new full album, so I have something to bring up for the top 20. That looks like it's going to take a little while. So instead, I decided that it would be better for me to introduce the band in the same way that I was introduced to them, and that's through their song, The Dead Don't Starve. So for those of you who don't know who the Deer Hunter is, think of it as taking Beethoven and putting him in the band Queen. That's basically the Deer Hunter. The band is like a much more modern version of Queen. They have a lot of theatrical elements, they're very dramatic, most of their music is aimed at telling stories and centering around particular themes. And the lead singer slash composer slash mastermind of the band, Casey Crescenzo, well, he acts a lot like Beethoven in the way that he writes his music. See, Beethoven had this awesome way of bringing out the emotions of the music that he composed. And he knew when to get lighter or darker in mood. He knew when to get faster or slower, louder or quieter. And Casey Crescenzo does a lot of those same types of things. He just writes in a rock and roll style or a modern rock style, as opposed to classical style, which Beethoven used to write in. That said, I feel like you guys would identify a lot more closely with Casey Crescenzo than you would with Beethoven, because Casey will write in the style that you're used to and that you understand. The other thing to know about Casey Crescenzo is that you'd probably expect him to have like a doctorate in music, the way he writes. But if I remember right, I don't think he ever went to school for music at all. So, in my opinion, that means that even though he's not necessarily educated, so to speak, in music, he's still doing a lot of the same things that great musicians of the past did, which tells me that their kind of music is more on target than other types of music that could be out there. And the reason why is because it works no matter how educated you are. So the song I'm about to feature actually comes from a collection of EPs called The Color Spectrum. And what the Deer Hunter did was they actually released 9 EPs, 4 songs apiece, all based around certain colors, and each color reflected a style of music that they wanted to play. So they have one that's like death metal style, and they have another one that's punk rock style, and they have another one that's folk and country, and they have another one that's electronic, and they have another one that's theatrical cabaret style. This one that I'm about to play comes from the Yellow EP, which is more like acoustic kind of 60s rock. And you probably won't hear quite as much of the theatrical elements that I was describing earlier on about the band in this particular song, but you might be able to pick it up a little bit. Oh, by the way, this song was the number 2 song of 2011, just missing number 1 by a nose hair that year. And so if you want a model of how to write a number 1 song, this is a good model here. And so again, the song is called The Dead Don't Starve. You're gonna love it, guys.
Raise the not enough for caving in and catering to thoughts are paper thin. Won't go unknown. I understand that you never had enough. 'Cause enough for someone is not enough for you. Yeah, I understand that you never had enough. 'Cause enough for someone is not enough for you. That you never had enough. 'Cause enough for someone is not enough for you. Yeah, I understand that you never had enough. 'Cause enough for someone is not enough for you.
So you might have noticed something really cool in the first verse that they did with the title. And if you didn't, I'm going to play this again, and you'll probably pick up on it now.
Raise the dead and hope the living learn to live with it. Cutting heads, demanding reparations for your kin. While some will starve.
So at the beginning of the verse, he says, "You raise the dead and hope the living learn to live with it," which is an awesome line, by the way. But what's even cooler about it is that at the end of the verse, he puts in this line saying, "While some will starve." And I thought that was a really cool way of using the title, because not only is it really effective in just kind of like creatively manipulating it and splitting up the title, but it really gets at the essence of the song in saying that, it's not all these dead people who starve, it's all living people who starve, but yet you want to feed the dead people. And, I think it just has a really cool message to it that just makes that title go so beyond what it actually says. And, I just think it's one of the most creative uses of a title that I've ever heard. I want to dive into the chorus next, because there's a ton of great stuff for me to point out from the chorus. So let me play it for you first, and then I'll go in and break down everything that's cool about it. So did you notice that there is some uniformity in the lines in the chorus? So Casey sings, I understand that you never had enough, 'cause enough for someone is not enough for you. So he's actually using this same 3-note melody, or collection of 3 notes, over and over and over again in the exact same rhythm, in the exact same spots, in the exact same order. It's and that one goes down to an E flat, but comes back again. So he's using those exact same 3 notes every single time he says basically another line in the chorus. So that kind of repetition of note patterns is actually pretty common in music, and it's not really all that special, but what Casey's actually doing in the middle there is he's actually adding an extra measure in between each of those kind of pieces of each line, and that actually is a lot different from what you might have normally heard. Let me try to play for you guys what it would sound like without the extra measure in between each of those lines. I understand that you never had enough, 'cause enough for someone is not enough for you. See, doing it that way makes the lyrics a lot harder to understand, because they're coming at you faster, so you have less time to perceive them. But the way Casey does it, he holds out those notes a little bit longer, and that makes it easier for you to take in. So with those extra measures, it actually kind of puts more emphasis on some of the words in the chorus, like understand. Holding that out for a longer period of time puts more emphasis on that word. The same thing with someone, as he gets to that word in the chorus. And so, doing that actually adds a little bit more flair to the chorus, and it's actually something that not a lot of people would think to do. So another thing that the band does in this song, and I didn't actually realize this until actually when I was starting to put together my stuff for this review, they're actually using modal mixture, going from the verses to the chorus. And so the verses are in this G Mixolydian mode, which sounds like this. And the chorus is in Aeolian, which sounds like this. And the cool thing about it is that it all stems from this G note here, that they're all coming back to every time they close off the chorus. They come back to this G chord. And what that's doing, though, is it's allowing Casey and the band to reach out and pull out some different melody lines and different ideas and different patterns and all that sort of stuff. And just another thing that just opens them up to more variety. And the last thing I gotta point out is that line, enough for someone is not enough for you. I thought that was just a brilliant line, a brilliant way of putting it in terms of his language and the way he expressed that and all that sort of stuff, and just the meaning behind that line. It just really holds the song together. Okay, so the last thing I want to cover is the ending, where the Deer Hunter slows down and they play this arpeggio at the end, which is really cool. I know they play it another spot in the EP as well. But I think it was really cool the way they kind of led into it here. So let me play it for you here. just thought it was an awesome idea to kind of do that and put it in there. It's something that would have been totally out of the blue in my opinion. And normally I don't really like things slowing down or speeding up drastically, but since this is the end of the song, I think it's, a little bit easier for me to kind of stomach. It's the end of the song and it doesn't last a whole long time. Usually that's easier for me to kind of take. But nonetheless, I just, again, thought it was a brilliant idea, and I wanted to make sure I pointed that out. This is all I have on this song. I want to thank you all for watching. If you guys like this, please go and check out the Deer Hunters website, thedeerhunter.com. They have tons of amazing music, and it's all represented on my Facebook page, but in all honesty, they're one of the best bands that I've ever heard, and obviously this is an excellent example of what they do, so make sure you go check them out. I'll put all their social media links in the description too. And if you like what I do here, make sure you hit that subscribe button. And I'll be honest, it's not easy to go back and find my channel again. I'm not that famous yet. So, if you really want to see everything that I do, make sure you subscribe and then you won't miss anything. Y'all can also check us out on our Facebook page as well, facebook.com/JoshD'sMusicalEscapades. And last but of course not least, if you have any music you want featured on the show, or if you know of any music and you think they should be featured on the show, send me an email at joshdell'Aria@musicalescapades@gmail.com, or leave it in the comments below, or comment on our Facebook page and let me know who they are and a little more about them, and I will listen from there, and if they're good enough, I'll get them on the show. Again, thanks for watching, and until next time, go make great music.